So this feels a bit weird. I haven't filmed in a very long time. I am coming at you on the 17th of January. It is 2 days after my birthday. Whoop, whoop. And I thought we could chat a bit about what I've been up to, where I've been, how things have been going. I basically haven't vlogged since my last market, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what I've told you, what I haven't told you, so I figured we could go through a few things. There's a lot. I should have written a list. I'm gonna write a list. I'll be back. Alrighty, I have written a page and it is one talking point. This is definitely going to be more of a sit down chatty video. The first thing that we are going to talk about is the last markets that I had of 2024. Starting with the market from not last video but the video before. That was a weekend market which I vlogged. It was on the 30th of November and the 1st of December. And it was really good. I didn't think it was as good as it was until I got home and did the numbers. So I was really chuffed. On day one I took a total of £355, which is a really good market as is. To let you know, my general sort of thing is, I don't really know what my general kind of thing is. I think £100, kind of disappointed. £150, okay, it was worth my time. £200, not the best but also not the worst. £250 plus, I'm happy. That's my goal for each market. And some markets I will lower my expectations. So for example, for this market I wanted to make £420 for the whole weekend, because that would be £250 each day plus a little bit extra. So that was my goal. So the fact that I took, if I'm looking at my journal where I've got everything written down, and also my notebook where I've got the talking points. So to take £355 on day one it was so nice, and I didn't feel like it was that good. I could tell that it was a good day, but I thought it was maybe £250 good, not £350 good. So I was very happy about that. I made some really big sales which I was super excited about. Some have sold a lot of my big items, which is kind of unusual, but then it was right before Christmas. People were clearly Christmas shopping, so I think I definitely benefited from that. And then on the second day I took £251, which made my total takings £606, which is quite a lot more than 420, so I was stoked. The store fee for the weekend was £44, so once you take that off I made £562 for the weekend. I was super happy with that one. And yep, I vlogged that, so that video is up on my channel if you would like to go and watch. Next was an indoor market in a shopping centre, which I did not vlog. I wasn't having the best day, mentally I wasn't feeling good. At this point I was very burnt out after having sold most of my stock at the weekend of the 30th and the 1st. This was the 7th of December and I had sold almost everything. So I had low stock, I was completely burnt out, I was not, and obviously that's a bad attitude to have at a market. If you're sat there in a glump or with a face like thunder, no one's going to buy from you. And I don't think that was the case for this one, because I don't think I was I don't think it showed on my face that I was in a bad place. I was struggling throughout the day. We also forgot my card machine and my iPad for my POS system and everything that I needed for checkout. Left it all at home. Thankfully our family at the moment has 2 cars, so my mum, bless her soul, was able to grab the bag with everything in that we had left at the top of the stairs, ready to bring it down, and then we just didn't. My mum was able to grab that and drive to where the market was, drop it off, make sure I was okay, because I was having a full-on breakdown. And that was she got there about 10 minutes before the market officially opened, because it was in a shopping centre, so the shopping centre was open from 9. So from 9 there had been people passing by, but nobody had been wanting to buy anything, which for that location was unusual, but I was kind of grateful because I couldn't take card payments anyway. So then when my mum got there at about 9:50, I got all my stuff set up, made sure I was okay, calmed down from my little breakdown, and then we got into the day, and it was, I don't know, the total that I took was £252. So that, by the thing that I've just told you about, if £250 is great. Only downside to this market, and the thing that I'm kind of meh about, is that the store fee was £60. So after that came out, I made £192, which, like I said, if £150 is it was worth my while, £190 were alright, it was worth my time. But for me, and I know it'll be different for everyone, some people that's a lot, some people that's not a lot. I know that will completely, like, the totals will sound drastically different to different people. So for example, like £192 to some people might be nothing. Like, I see market vlogs of people in craft fairs in America who make like $1,000 per market. So £192 might be a drop in the bucket for them. But for some people, £192, me included, is very respectable. Like, it's not my best, I'm not super chuffed about it, but I'm also not upset, you know? I made £192, that's £192 I didn't have before. It was worth my time to be there in terms of the amount that I took. What I'm trying to say is, if you're sat there thinking, that's not much, mate, you shouldn't really be chuffed about that. Cool, that's your opinion. I'm chuffed. And if you're sat there thinking, oh my god, that's so much, don't see it as competition. It's not competition. It's me telling you how much I made because I want to be transparent and open, and that's my choice. That has nothing to do with you or your sales. So do not compare yourself to my sales, even though I was literally just comparing myself to Americans making thousands of dollars. Then the very next weekend, starting on the Friday, I had 3 separate markets, not even like a 3-day event, 3 separate events. I had a market on the 13th, one on the 14th, and one on the 15th. The ones on the 14th and the 15th I did vlog, and that vlog is the last vlog that you would have seen. The one on the 13th, as I explained in that vlog, I did not vlog. I did not film anything at that market because it was at a infant school and there were a lot of very small children, and obviously that's not safe for them for me to be filming. That's also against YouTube's guidelines, even if I had been filming. So I didn't even bother getting my camera out, and honestly, it was manic. Schools are just another level. At that event, it was a 2-hour long event. Almost all of my sales happened in the first 20 minutes. So it started at 2, ended at 4. I made 4 sales after about 2:25, and all the rest of my sales came before 2:20. So just bear that in mind when I tell you that I took £177, which I paid a £10 store fee for a total of £167 taken home. I'd say at least 100 of that was in the first 20 minutes. Schools are mad. If you've got the right kind of product, schools are where it's at. If you think about that in perspective, it's about £25, it's exactly £25 less than the previous weekend, and the previous weekend's event was £192 profit, and the event was from 10 till 4, so that's 6 hours if I can do my math off the top of my head. This event I made £25 less, and it was a 2-hour event. It's a bit bonkers. And yeah, I sold 8 cats at that school in 15 minutes. It was absolutely bonkers. I was super duper happy with that, and if I'm being fully honest, when I saw that my total was less than 200, I was disappointed because I had done this school twice before. The first time I did about 250 in 2 hours. I know. And the second time I did about 300 in just over 2 hours because it ran extra. This one felt different in that, like, it died after 20 minutes and like all the kids went home. And at 3 o'clock, an hour before it officially ended, several people had sold out and had already packed up and gone home. The teachers came round and said, look, there's like 2 kids with their parents still here, so if you can stay until they leave, that would be appreciated, but equally if you want to pack up now, you can. So we stayed until those 2 families left, and then once they had left, we packed up and went home. And it was just gone 4 o'clock when we got home, and it was like a 20-minute drive. It was a bit mental. But yeah, if I'm being honest, when I saw that total, I was like, oh, that's not as good as last time. Schools have spoiled me. I've got I feel like that's the problem with good markets, is you get a sort of sense of entitlement, dare I say it, that like if you have a bunch of good markets or you have a really good one, it shift your expectation for other ones. Having had this amazing hour and 20 minutes on the 13th, I then went into the 14th with little stock again, but I still took £255. I paid a £25 stall fee, so I made £230. Yahoo! It's only like twice as much, 10 till 3, as opposed to 2 till 3:20. I don't know. It skews your perception of what's a good day and what's a good market when you have ones that are just irrationally good. And of course you love it when it's irrationally good. Everyone loves that. Like you, all the other stall holders, if you're all doing well, it's a brilliant day. But then when you go from an amazing market to just a average, normal market, you almost feel disappointed because you know you can do better. Again, I've not shared that before, and I don't like talking about it because it makes me feel really entitled. Obviously I'm not entitled to sales, nobody's entitled to sales. If your product is good, it will sell. Well done. There's a pat on your back, but you're not entitled to people's money just because you made something. Sorry, it's my opinion anyway. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that like if you have just had an amazing market and then your next one is kind of just good, it's okay to feel a bit let down, even though it was still good. Like as long as you remember your stuff is good, it will sell to the right people. Those crazy good markets are mostly one-offs. It's probably not going to happen again for like 6 months, a year. Enjoy it. Don't let it affect the way you see other markets, because then you're going to get yourself down. I've done a lot of rambling. So finally, the 15th of December. This was a winter wonderland. It was massively advertised. They did, like, props to the organisers, they did everything they could. It just wasn't enough, unfortunately. This was not an event that did well for anyone, which you might know if you watched the vlog. I didn't vlog much there because it was indoors, it was super cramped, and I was very self-conscious about filming. But the event ended at 5. Quite a lot of vendors started packing up at 3, and everyone was packing up at 3:45. Like there was not a table in that room in the big hall that did not start packing up before 4, myself included, which I don't like. I don't like packing up early unless you're told you can. But at a certain point they closed the doors. They hadn't come around and told us we could pack up, but they closed the doors, no one was coming in, and if I'd stayed until 5, I would have been the only person in that hall where they're not letting customers in. I decided to pack up, which I don't like it. I don't like doing it. It was a bit of a naff day. I took £85, which is not nothing, but it's under my 100, which is always my baseline. And then the stall fee, in comparison to what I took, was kind of expensive. It was a £30 stall fee, so I walked away with £55. I was not thrilled about that, but in my head I was like, okay, I've got one more weekend of markets and then I'm done, and hopefully the next weekend will be better. So that was the 21st and the 22nd of December. Yeah, it got cancelled. The weather was pretty bad. Can't remember whether it was this one that snowed. No, so this was the second date that I had booked with this location, this organiser. The first date that I had booked was the 24th of November. Got snowed out. There was heavy snowfall, and it's up in the Peak District, so it's on high ground, and they were completely snowed in, so they had to cancel. This one, there was no snow forecast, but there were 50-mile-an-hour winds forecast. So I spoke to the organisers, we agreed it's not safe to set up in that. Cancelled it both days because the winds were only supposed to get worse on the second day. I was pretty bummed about that, if I'm being honest. Because yeah, I'd had the 30th, so at the very start of December, I'd had a fabulous market. Then I'd had an okay market. Then I'd had great, shit, cancelled. So I was a little disappointed, if I'm being fully honest, at like, because in November I added up how much I made from markets. It was crazy. November was by far my best month by hundreds of pounds, and it being December I'd hoped that it would step up even more, and I made just over half in December of what I did in November. I'm not going to share those big numbers because that, I feel, as much as I want to be transparent, I don't want to come across as bragging, and as much as I kind of love to brag because it was really great and I was so happy, like the business did so good in November and I want to shout it from the rooftops. I want to tell everyone how good I did in November, but I don't want to be a prick. So I'm not going to. That is talking point numero uno for this video. I'm going to pause the video now with my little remote and I'll be back when I have my second talking point. It's disconnected from Bluetooth. Yeah, I'm going to have to manually press pause. That's embarrassing. Okay, next talking point. What have I been up to since the end of my markets? So glad you asked. First of all, I have something very exciting to officially share here on YouTube, and that is that I am launching my own website on the 1st of February. And right now you can go to harpercrochets.com and sign up to be notified on launch, but it will officially open and be good to go and be an online store on the 1st of February. I'm so excited. Having a website is expensive, but the number of times that I get asked at markets if I have a website, people don't know what Etsy is and people want to find me in future, I decided I needed a website, and 2025 was the year to do it. Largely I have been planning and building my website with Shopify, which has been so easy. It was so overwhelming at first. I was so stressed and anxious and I didn't know what to do. I started watching tutorials and then I gave up on the tutorials because they were so long, and I ended up just playing with it because until the website's live, it doesn't matter what I do because I can change it. I figured it out and I set up a design that I love. The only thing now is to add products, which I'm doing from the 27th to the 31st of January, cutting it close, I know, and then the website will go live on February 1st. Now, I would love to say that I was resting over Christmas and enjoying a break. I kind of was, but I was mostly working on the website, so I rested enough to get myself out of like the severe burnout and like funk that I was in. I took it easy. I was still doing business related things even on Christmas Day. I know, but I was doing it slowly and when I felt like it, and I wasn't sticking to a to-do list. I was just going, okay, here's a bunch of things that need doing. I feel like doing this. And what I felt like doing over the few days of the holidays was building a website. So that's what I did. And then once I was back from my holiday break, which I definitely took, I started making new products for said website. With exclusive preview include, so you may know that I do project bags and I am releasing a larger size, which are roughly that big. They're much better for holding larger projects and your notions. They're still drawstring. They're a slightly thinner canvas fabric than the smaller ones if you already have a small one, but you can keep a lot more in these ones, and the design on them is much bigger as well so that it scales up with the scale of the bag. That makes sense. Then another new addition, I decided project bags weren't enough. I wanted to do cases, like hook and notion cases. So we have, this is an example of one. It is, I put a little cat charm because the design has a cat on it, and it's a zip pouch. It has a wide base, so it's not just flat, it like opens up and is wide, so it can open up that way and you can pop all sorts of things in it, so it's nice and wide. So we've got this size, and we have this design and my dragon design, which is on a tote bag but will now be on a hook case. And then we have, so this is like for your notions and stuff for smaller projects. I've got one of these that, like, my first attempt that didn't go too good, and I've kept it, and I keep like some sock whips in because I have so many pairs of socks on the go at the moment. and this is the perfect size to fit a pair of socks in. Then if it's just for your hooks and your needles and stuff, we have this size, and it has a little tab so it's easy to hold. You can like attach it to a bag. Oh, I didn't mention, but this one and this one, the design is on both sides. So we have the bead design on this. Again, it's got like a gusset thingy at the bottom, so it's a bit wider. This has got a green zip, so it's nice and on brand. Opens up nice and wide so you can fit plenty in it. And then I also added my logo on the inside. All of these designs are with UV GTF. They are heat pressed on, if I do say so myself. They feel really good. They blend really well into the fabric, but like you can tell that it's on there, but it blends in really well. So we've got those. Oh, and the smaller hook case is also coming in the slow fashion design. I am also releasing crochet mystery kits, which have, it says what it's got. So on the side it says it excludes yarn so you can pick your colour and yarn weight, and then there's a list of what's included on the back, and it says 2 pairs of painted safety eyes 16 and 25mm, a crochet hook 5mm, 2 stitch markers, my designs, a project bag or hook case, again my designs, my merch items, a merch item, so a keyring or a pin badge from my merch selection, plus yarn snips and a safety eye tool. So those I bought in bulk, and I've just included as a little fun bonus. There's also some additional things, like there's some pairs of non-painted safety eyes, like regular safety eyes, and some yarn needles in here. And there's also a QR code for a pattern and beginner tutorials, which will take you to a blog page on my website with the very beginner written pattern for my opossum. And I also link some really good beginner tutorials that I found on YouTube that I personally used when I was learning. So yeah, if you are new to crochet and you need just like stuff to get yourself started, get one of these. If you know someone who crochets but you don't know what they might need or what they want because you don't know enough about crochet, get them one of these. This is perfect for anyone who does plushies or amigurumi, as it says on the box. This little fella, it seems really small but it's got quite a lot in it, is going to be £20 plus postage. I think I did them mostly for markets, but I think they could do, well, we'll find out how they do online. And the value is at least £30 depending on what project bag or hook case or merch item is in here. So like the bigger merch items, like one I'm about to show you, it's a bit more expensive, we'll boost this up like several pounds over £30 value. The hook cases are going to be a little bit more expensive than the project bags, so again that'll boost your value. You are guaranteed £30 of value in this box. Then another new item, I had some new keyrings made, including my dragon. It's got a star clasp, it's just like a lobster clasp, but there's the dragon with the ball of yarn, and it's, as you can kind of see from like the glossiness, and there's a slight dome effect that you can kind of see. It's front side epoxy, back side is just regular acrylic, and yes, it is double-sided, it's just inverted. And this is the biggest keyring that I have got, the biggest keyring that I will probably ever do, but I wanted this to be nice and big so you can see all the details, because it has got like much more detailed brushwork on the actual design when I drew it, and I wanted you to be able to see that. So this is a, I think 3 or 3.5 inch keyring, which is huge. So I know it won't be for everyone, but I wanted to offer it because at the prior to these new products, all I had with this design on was a tote bag or a notepad, and those are not strictly crochet related, and people were loving them. People were like, oh my god, it's so cute, it's so cute, it's so cute, it's so cute, I want it. But they didn't want a tote bag or a notepad, and I had a few people ask if I had it as a sticker or as a keyring, so here it is. More things that I have been working on. I have been working on my taxes. Yeah, boring. You don't want to know about that. I have been working on custom orders from the weekend market. I got a custom order, and you may be able to tell this isn't a plushie. Oh no. This is the infamous hexagon cardigan. This is just one half of it. These are the colours the customer picked out. It's absolutely stunning. I love her colour choices. She's very coordinated. It's going to match her hair, which is awesome. As you can see, I've not weaved in the end yet. This half still needs blocking and then the ends weaving in, and then the two pieces I have done the other half needs sewing together. Then it will be done and I'm so excited. So that's another thing that I've been doing while I've been gone and not vlogging. I think there are a couple of clips of me crocheting the cardigan, so if there are clips I will have inserted them somewhere in this video, possibly while I'm talking, maybe? I don't know. And then the other thing that I have been doing that I have had time off for was my birthday. Yeah, it was my birthday on the 15th of January, 2 days ago. I turned 20. So that brings us all the way up to the third and final talking point, which is what am I doing this week? What am I doing at the moment? The present day. I found out kind of recently that in order to sell crochet plushies in the UK, you need to comply to the UKCA laws. Basically, if you sell any kind of toy in this country, because of EU regulations, it has to be CE certified, but because we're not in the EU anymore, it's CA. This is one hell of a process. So what I've been doing this past week or so is preparing to actually test my items. There are some physical tests and there is some paperwork. Well, I say some, it's actually a lot, and it's very overwhelming, it's very scary. Today especially, I have been starting some paperwork, making prototypes of the items that need to be tested, because you need to do it in a certain yarn that's compliant, and it's a whole faff. If you would like me to do a video on my process, I will probably vlog my process, to be honest, but I don't know if I'll post it unless somebody asks me to. If you would like to see the process of UKCA marking my plushies, please do let me know down below in the comments. So, if you'll excuse me, I've got a heck of a lot of paperwork to do. I am currently watching Evie Benita. I love her so much. She's just so comforting to watch. I've been bullet journaling over my birthday. You know what, I'm going to show you. This is my second bullet journal from Rebel Jones. It says Dream Plan Do on it, but I'm really excited. I've got some tabs and I'm gonna like properly try bullet journaling. I think like last year was my first time journaling. I just did whatever the heck I wanted. This year I'm going to try like proper aesthetic bullet journaling and see how I get on. Alrighty, hello. I am popping in as I'm editing because I realised that I never filmed an outro to this video. This is becoming quite the habit for me, I must admit. So I hope you really enjoyed today's video. It was very chatty. Hopefully in editing I've not done it yet, I've just done the rough cut of the actual like clips. But hopefully in editing I put some nice clips of me crocheting and getting some stuff done for you to watch while I was yapping away. I hope it wasn't too boring. Hope you had a fun time while you were here, got something done. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my market stats, what I've been up to, all my new products that are coming, all that sort of stuff. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope it was worth it for you, because I really enjoyed actually doing a sit down video for once. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you watched all the way to the end, leave the nail varnish emoji, because I did my nails the other day and I feel very pretty. So leave the like nail painting emoji down below in the comments so that I know that you watched all the way through to the end. Remember to check out my new website, which is launching on February 1st. Not sure what time yet, but keep an eye out. Go to harpercrochets.com to sign up to be notified when it goes live, and then check it out on February 1st or February 2nd if I end up posting it in the evening, because I haven't finished all the listings yet. Which is probably what's going to happen, to be fair. In the meantime, please do like check out my Etsy and my socials and stuff. My socials are all at harper_crochets and my Etsy is harpercrochetsshop.etsy.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!